Don't you remember your adventure plans, my lady?
I want to buy more.
Bring it! Add as... Thank you for... Where is it?
So, this is the Temple of Silence. I've heard the Nagarjanites mention it in passing, but I never imagined it would be this big. It's colossal.
I thought the temple moved to the rainforest ages ago. When did they scamper back into the desert?
I don't know. Even in King Deshret's day, this was experimental technology. We have no idea.
Well, unless you know of another viable alternative for the...
The plan is sound. The scale of this project is enormous. Even with Kave, Faruzan, and...
You're back. Everything all right?
Friends of yours?
Pretty much everyone in the Temple of Silence.
Hello, I'm Jet, and
Oh, a famous name.
Pleased to meet you. A friend of a...
who's they?
Huh? Do people not...
Not in the desert. Friends you can trust, but friends of friends? Gotta keep an eye on them. Still, I do trust the Traveler's judgment. I'm sure you're good people.
The sandstorms have calmed down. I take it the Gurubot...
And after getting all smarmy with us, he trapped us there. Luckily, Jet used...
Wow. So...
Yeah?
I assume you are not well deduced.
Are you wondering about his true identity? Or do you...
I wouldn't go as far as to call it a conspiracy. Just the simple fact that having someone to shift the blame on tends to prove... The most important thing for now is to solve the immediate problem. Perhaps that man knew you wouldn't...
This is all getting a little cryptic for me. I'll let you guys talk while I take a walk with Lee Lupar.
Jet?
Aren't you with the Blazing Beasts? What a coincidence. Didn't expect to run into you here.
We're mercs. You can run into us anywhere. Who's this with you?
So, did you find the solution you were looking for in the Temple of Silence?
You bet we did. This place is
Aren't you with the Blazing...
Jet? We're mercs. You can run into...
Aren't you with the Blazing Beasts?
We're mercs. You can...
So far, we've discussed a plan and verified its feasibility. Building a new system from scratch is out of the question. So our only option is to...
According to certain sources in the Temple of Silence, there is a core device in King Deshret's if... However, this raises difficult questions regarding...
Yeah, but I'm sure the people of the rainforest are always cautious when it comes to desert technology.
Wait, is this the same Aru we've heard of before? It's sealed off, right?
Well remembered. According to our records, Aru was the most brilliant creation King Deshret ever conceived of. Built by divine and... That being said, what Aru actually does and why, until recently, I wouldn't have been optimistic that the place even exists. The only reason I'm inclined to believe it now is because we heard it from the
Paimon totally gets that. But do you guys still remember that? The Ibis King told us they were trapped in Aru.
I think I remember. What causes our rise and fall?
Yeah. Oh, if only Nefer were here.
Not cry.
Huh?
Yeah. Had another lady with her too. Both said they knew.
Really?
Yes, really. It was just one of them said she's made Nod Cry her home.
Looks like betting on Aru was...
See? There.
Nicole! Nefer!
Yeah.
Why, hello! We're here to help. It's a good thing we left early. We almost got locked out.
Locked out?
Oh, you haven't heard? An invisible barrier has appeared around Sumeru's borders, cutting off all travel in and out. No one can leave and no one can enter. Sumeru has become a lonely island.
Are the Fatui behind?
Actually, no. This has nothing to do with them. I suspect it's a defense mechanism within Irminsul itself. Irminsul is the source of Tevat's ley lines, after all, and Sumeru is the nation closest to it. I imagine this function was put in place to seal the entire region off in the event of serious damage, preventing the disaster from spreading to the rest of Tevat. It may have been implemented long ago.
But doesn't that mean that the people here...
Currently, that does appear to be the case, which is precisely why I am here. This is a critical moment for the world, and Sumeru is the eye of the storm.
Paimon's surprised you managed to convince her to come back to
Indeed. Even for someone of my wisdom and eloquence, this tested my skills to the limit.
And why should it concern me that Sumeru's in trouble? Surely you don't think I still have feelings for that place?
Judging by your tone, I suppose you don't.
Sounds like you don't know much about my past. And here I thought you knew everything.
All I know is that the Ibis King is the source of your power. He was quite a prominent moon envoy once upon a time, so I do know a thing or two about him. As for your past, I have ways to learn the full story if I wish to. But everyone has secrets they'd rather keep to themselves, wouldn't you say?
I'm glad you see it that way, Miss Nicole. I've chosen to call Nod Cry home, which is why I did my part in its hour of need. That doesn't mean world savings become a habit with me. I have no particular desire to play hero in Sumeru, thank you.
I understand. Human emotions do not appear and disappear without cause. There is always a reason to be found behind both salvation and destruction. Still, if time has taught me anything, it's that human emotions are often complex and in conflict. That's why people change their minds about things all the time. But that's where we angels come in. Our duty, ultimately, is to guide people towards their deepest, truest desires and help bring them to fruition. So I wish to hear about your past, because I do not believe you are motivated by hatred alone. And if we still arrive at different conclusions in the end, that's okay.
I refuse.
Wait, what? But I set the atmosphere and everything. Isn't this supposed to be the moment when we finally open up to one another?
Is it? Maybe I'm not so good at reading the atmosphere. You're right, Nicole. There's more to me than just hatred. Had it consumed me, I'd be left stuck in the past forever, never living in the present. But I don't think that your guidance can change my mind. The all-consuming sands, the bloodshed, both deserved and undeserved. Those old emotions cling to me like a shadow.
Do you wish to shake them off?
No. I hope to remember them forever. Those emotions and memories shaped me into the person I am today. They'll always be a part of me.
In that case, would you like to hear my perspective, at least?
Sure. It's not every day you get to hear an angel's opinion.
A long, long time ago, when the angels still walked freely upon the earth, I found life tedious. Monotonous work, lukewarm relationships. Things weren't nearly as interesting as they are now. And yet, since the angel's demise, I have found myself missing those days on more than one occasion. Human emotions are often attached to a person, a place, or an object. When those things are gone, the memories quickly fade, and the emotions slip away along with them. If Sumeru were destroyed, both rainforest and desert would be no more. With the object of your hatred wiped from existence, it would not take long for the memories buried deep in your heart to slowly fade. Both love and hate are intense emotions, but they are nothing compared to the void left behind when they disappear.
Most sophisticated, Miss Nicole. But anyone focused on the future could only ever applaud the destruction of the things they hate. Still, I'm a special case. Someone once told me that human memory is more selective than a Mora-hungry merchant choosing between customers. We all need a reality check once in a while, so we don't forget the truth. As much as I dislike Sumeru, this is no way for it to perish. All right, you win. I'll help you out a little, but I won't work for free.
How much will you need? You're not gonna milk this for all it's worth, are you?
What do you think?
I'll be upfront with you. I don't have much more on me. If that's what you need, I could borrow some from Alice. Or perhaps I could pay in sculptures. The ones I carve are actually worth quite a lot.
Just cover my travel expenses.
Huh? Is that all?
That's all. Given all the people I owe favors to, I can just about justify a trip to Sumeru. Yehoda!
Here, boss! What do you need?
I'm going back to Sumeru for a while. While I'm away, you'll be in charge of the curatorium.
Me? I'm in charge? Whoa! Don't worry, boss. You can count on me! And that was how the ingenious Angel Nicole brought you the perfect person for the job in your hour of need. Hip hip hooray!
That was far more detailed than necessary. Not lacking in embellishment either. I never thought I'd return. Especially not the desert. But life doesn't always go as planned, I suppose. What's Candace up to? I don't think I've seen her yet.
She is still taking care of things in our village. Should be joining us before too long. Oh, and sorry. Hope we're not interrupting anything. We have some good news, though.
We're planning to go to the mausoleum of King Deshret to look for the legendary...
According to records in the Temple of Silence, the mausoleum houses something called Aru's Chute, which can be used to establish...
We still have some time before we leave, so...
By the way, who are these two new...
Just call me Nefer. I'm based in Nodkrai. Did I hear you mention Aru?
Correct.
Well, I happen to have a connection with one of the 3 retainers imprisoned inside, the Ibis King. I'm here to get things done, so if you don't mind, I think I should come with you.
That sounds perfect.
Miss Nefer, are you from the desert by any chance?
Why do you ask?
I don't know. There's a familiar air about you. Plus, you mentioned Candace. Sorry, I don't mean to pry. It was just a random thought. I'm Dia, an eremite mercenary. My work usually keeps me out in the desert.
I'm on good terms with Dory, and she's mentioned you all before. It's nice to finally put faces to the names. However, my associate here is probably less well acquainted with you. Why don't you all introduce yourselves?
Actually, I'm a little better acquainted than you might think.
Huh?
Huh. Are my eyes...
Ventriloquism. I have heard tell...
What is it, Kale?
It's you! You're the voice who's been speaking in my head, aren't you? You encouraged me to report my dreams to the Dendro Archon, and got me to recite that magic prayer.
Mm-hmm. I have many titles, but let's go with the most pertinent one. I am Nicole Rain, an angel who has lived since ancient times.
An angel? Sounds like a big deal, but, what exactly is an angel?
Oh, Well, we're a rather long-living race of beings. Not gods, technically, but we can still tell you a lot of stories from ancient history.
Yep, and she's also an amazing sculptor.
You could say she's a real creative type.
Well, ma'am, if both the Traveler and Paimon give you rave reviews, you must be pretty impressive.
Oh, please don't call me ma'am. I find it so awkward when people get too formal with me. Just relax and be yourselves. No need to be nervous.
Miss Nicole, if it's okay, could I ask you a few questions?
Yes, you may. I can see your heart is filled with confusion, and you are desperate for answers. I also know which questions you want to ask me. Why did you dream of Sumeru City in disarray? Why did those verses soothe the Jinn only when recited by you? I can guide you to the truth, but it involves a personal secret of yours. I'd prefer to speak with you alone, if possible. I thought we were going to speak alone. This is a lot more people than I was expecting.
What's wrong with it? Even the doctors...
Well, if Kale doesn't mind her secret being revealed, I have no problem with it.
Thanks for being so considerate, Miss Nicole. I don't know what secret you mean, but whatever it is, there's no need for me to hide it from my closest friends.
Closest friends? It's so nice to hear that.
All right. In that case, I'll get right to it. Kale, are you aware that there are god remains inside your body?
I am. When I was young, I got sick with Elazar. Nothing could cure it. The Fatui convinced my mom and dad that they could help, and I was sent to an unfamiliar place. There were a lot of other kids just like me there. This creepy guy injected us with some strange medicine, which I heard contained god remains. I can still remember the pain like it was yesterday. But thanks to the friends who've stuck by me all this time, I've gradually been able to overcome those memories. Anyway, so you're saying that what happened to me has something to do with the god remains they injected me with?
Yes. Those were the remains of Nabu Malikata, the goddess of flowers.
What? You don't seem surprised like the rest of us.
What? The possibility crossed my mind when Kale recited the goddess of flowers.
You made Paimon jump! What are you doing here, Lilupar?
I was merely passing through when I heard the name of the goddess of flowers. Be assured that I share your surprise. You, with the hat. Are you certain? I sense no trace of the Lord of Flowers within her.
Well, it is a very small fragment. Unless special methods are used to manifest its power, even her closest acquaintances would find it near impossible to detect. After the goddess passed away, her remains were scattered across the desert. King Deshret gathered all the pieces he could find and buried them in the eternal oasis. But some fragments remained unaccounted for. Eventually, the Fatui must have found a way to track some of them down. Presumably for use in some experiment. It's not an uncommon occurrence. You're more shaken than I thought. In one sense, you've been extraordinarily lucky. So many people who yearn for this kind of power never attain it, yet you have coexisted with her all this time without even realizing it.
You, with the hat.
I don't know what to say. I'm glad that I could help everyone with this power, really. But knowing that a fragment of the goddess of flowers is inside my body is... it's a strange feeling.
Well, people value their autonomy very highly. Even a...
I understand how you feel, Kale. I guess you of all people have a...
2 good reasons, in fact. Incidentally, 3 is the maximum number of hermeneutic...
Let me guess. Because 2's company but 3's a crowd?
Thanks for helping to explain the joke, Tainari.
Not my intention.
Goddess preserve me. I should take my leave. This boy in his wolf's head hat speaks much too differently from the Hermanubis I remember.
Kale, all I'm trying to say is, no matter how many Hermanubis fragments there are within me, you wouldn't think of me as Hermanubis.
Yeah, I know what you mean. So about that dream I had, was it a warning from the goddess of flowers?
Yes. Just like me, she was an angel created by the primordial humans, born with the instinct to guide living beings. Though her body and soul have perished, her essence retains its natural instincts. Even her smallest remaining fragments would do their utmost to send you that warning. The mother of dreams? Lord of flowers and oases? She must have had a premonition. That is why she gave that dream to you.
We won't let our efforts go to waste, but I still don't understand. Why me?
Yes. Why indeed? You weren't the only one injected with god remains, but only in you have her fragments persisted. I suspect it may be because of the firm will you showed in the face of suffering. She was likely assimilated by that will. Of course, this doesn't mean you have to shoulder any extra responsibility. As this young man said, you are who you are, and that will not change. All right. Any further questions from the family members of the patient? If not, we should head to the mausoleum of King Deshret.
Let's move out.
We all hope it'll work. But will we really be able to open Aru? And even if all seven...
Haven't you handled other big...
I mean, the biggest project I've worked on to date is probably...
Look on the bright... When Sumeru needs you most, you won't have to come asking me for details after the fact.
Mock me all you want. But now that I'm here, things will...
Kave's self-doubt disappeared in an instant. Like magic.
Well, this confidence is most gladdening. Now, go and pack your things. We'll head to the mausoleum as soon as you're ready.
Oh, Miss Nicole.
Oh, I don't know. I wouldn't want to blow my own trumpet.
Honestly, even though Kasharawar is best known for its focus on mechanics, plenty of Kasharawar scholars. So if they rate your work, that's
Who's we?
myself and a few other scholars.
Oh, well, if you insist, I suppose there's no harm in showing you.
Whoa! Where did...
Look at the level of detail. The squirrel descends from the heavens like a champion, and the earth trembles beneath its feet. What do you think? Striking, isn't it?
Kave? Kave, come here for a sec. Oh, and,
All right, but hang on a moment.
You called? What is it, youngster?
this squirrel statue. Isn't it?
Oh, a squirrel. I wouldn't say cute per se. The realism is what stands out to me. Were you trying to carve a statue of a hero, young lady?
Oh, a hero? I suppose so. Actually, I didn't really have a specific theme in mind. I just started working on it, and this is how it turned out.
I see. Well, do you tend to read novels about heroes in your spare time?
As a matter of fact, I do quite enjoy those. Everyone loves a good tale of daring do, right?
Then perhaps this statue represents the heroic tale you long to see deep down inside. Also on the subject of heroism, I feel that if the subject posed with a finger raised towards the heavens, it would lend a greater gravitas to the overall image. I'm sure some would call it cliché or old-fashioned, but not me. I think it would be a perfect fit. It has a certain classical beauty about it. Kaveh! Kaveh!
Sorry, Madame Faruzan.
What a pity. That young man has excellent aesthetic tastes. I was hoping to ask him for his opinion.
What a genius idea! Why didn't I think of that? Classical beauty is a great direction to explore. That's it. Once I get back, I'm going to sculpt a heroic squirrel pointing its finger towards the sky.
Precisely. A declaration of victory. You understand my vision. Then place the two statues face to face.
Yes! That's exactly what I was thinking.
It'll be a masterpiece. Miss... I'm sorry. I didn't catch your name.
Just call me Nicole. Madame Faruzan? Was it?
What? Oh, no.
Why ever not? Madam is a state of mind cultivated from within. Anyone may call me Madam if they so desire. My dear Miss Nicole, once we make it through these trying times, should we have the pleasure of meeting again, I shall look forward to seeing your new work. In this day of age, it's rare to find people with an appreciation for classical aesthetics. Meeting you was truly a pleasant surprise.
Honestly, I feel the same way. It's been a long time since I met anyone interested in this style of statue. Clearly, they don't call you Madam for nothing.
Precise. Then placed it. It'll be a masterpiece. Miss... I'm sorry. I didn't catch your name.
Also, I have to say, you're a very good judge of character. Because when I think about it, I really am someone who likes stories about heroes. That must be why I've quietly kept watch over generation after generation of them.
Sorry, keeping watch over heroes? What exactly do you do for a living?
Oh, never mind that.
Let's not tell Madame Far...
Good idea. Let's limit the
Bring it!
Let's not...
Good idea.
What's wrong? Kale got a fragment of the Goddess of Flowers. And all I got was one of the 7 pillars who served under King...
That's what you're upset about?
I hope everyone's ready. We'll be arriving at our destination very shortly.
Why, we've not seen so many visitors. Closer inspection reveals many
You surmised correctly.
Ho, enormous, you say? How long? Why, you've even put a smile on Goatee and Crocco's faces. All this activity is... I know that laugh. Lilipar? What on earth are you doing here?
Oh, this is hilarious. Turns out good things really do come to those who wait. As long as you stay alive long enough. When did you three get locked up in here? And still you act all high and mighty, putting on a show for the younglings. Truly hysterical.
Why you? Yes, I know. No need to shout. You're right, Lilipar. But didn't King Deshret seal you away?
Who knows? Perhaps you can ask my master one day, should you ever get the chance. Behold, the executioners of old. Some have turned into fragments residing in human bodies, and others are imprisoned eternally, leaving not a single shard behind. It's almost tragic, watching lowly prisoners like you act all self-important. Curiosity gnaws at you, doesn't it? Your interest in the outside world threatens to burst you at the seams.
Turf.
I'm starting to take a liking to this magic bottle lady.
Time is of the essence. Let's...
I'm starting to take a liking to this magic bottle lady.
Behold, the executioners of old. Some have turned into fragments residing in human bodies, and others are imprisoned eternally, leaving not a single shard behind.
We come to you, O three ancient lords, to request your assistance on behalf of the Academy. As for precisely what we need your help with, it's a long story. So,
All right, stop arguing, Croco. And Goatee, don't you start. What's the harm in letting her speak? It's not worth getting so angry about. Forget about. But do you really have a way to answer them? You once answered the final question, Nefer, but the seal did not open. Unless, with the passage of time...
You could say so. When you first asked me what determines truth and falsehood, my answer was a liar's soul. Liars are the best at seeing through the falsehoods of the world. But if you want them to tell you the truth...
I think that makes sense.
I found it quite compelling myself, and I told Nefer so.
Well, that's simply because it was my answer, not the one King Deshret was looking for.
Can you guess which answer Al-Ahmar...
Time. And that's not only the answer to the final question, it's the answer to all three of them. All things wax and wane with the passage of time. Love and hate eventually fade into nothing. Current affairs are always fraught with conflict and controversy. Only time can distinguish between right and wrong. You once described King Deshret as a proud man. I'd say that the prouder someone is, the more inclined they are to believe that only time is qualified to be their judge.
Time. Well. Indeed. Perhaps in building Aru, our king was in fact attempting to reverse time, to bring love and hate, right and wrong, the rise and fall of all things back to their point of origin. This is the most eventful day I have experienced in a long, long time. You have my sincere gratitude.
Are those three of the...
Turns out the statues were quite faithful to the...
You three seem to be in good spirits.
Prison can help a person grow and learn to cherish what they have. Nevertheless, after everything you've done for me, I sincerely hope you never have to experience it for yourself. Hello, Nefer.
It's good to see you, Thoth, the Ibis King.
Nice. Definitely puts my...
Should we maybe
Sure. I'm Sethos, the current leader of the Temple of Silence. This is General Mahamatra Sino. And this is the former...
Everything is equally new to us, in truth. We've been gone from this mortal world for longer.
Let's hold off on the introductions for now. We can always ask Nefer about you later. It'll give me something to talk about with my chosen disciple.
You're like a helpless parent. Gods and people of yore are not necessarily welcome in today's world. Self-awareness is one of my finest qualities. I thought I ought to share its fruits with you.
Is that so? Well, I think we'll take it in stride, just as we did with the 3 questions. Let's not forget, it was my persistence that won you
Fair point. I have to applaud your persistence.
And I must praise you for your wisdom.
I'm sorry?
Why, your tremendous accomplishments deserve a reward, do they?
General Mahamatra, what do you think?
I won't beat around the bush. Sumeru is...
Every calamity throughout the ages has been connected to...
Whatever is wrong with Irminsul, it severely affected the Dendro Archon.
The Dendro Dragon? I'm sorry.
Not a pep, surely. Not vicious, cruel, a pep who possesses no virtues aside from her basic instincts. Ah, good heavens.
I shudder to think what could have caused Lesser Lord Kusanali to suffer such a plight. Still, why would the Dendro Dragon let...
You can help us make history.
A smooth talker.
Currently, no one can connect to Irminsul. We hope that by opening up Aru and making some modifications...
Unfortunately, Aru is an imperfect creation. King Deshret never managed to realize... Besides, I hear your reasons, but to give...
The archaeological records clearly indicate that although Aru's construction took a long time, it was not beyond human means to achieve.
This is by no means a threat. But the only reason we helped you escape from Aru was to gain the necessary leverage to negotiate with you. You asked us to state our wishes, and we have. Each one of us here needs your help.
What do we think, my fellow old fogies? Shall we lend our support or not?
Since you ask so nicely, naturally.
Naturally what? Are you for?
I simply mean we shall do what comes naturally. You claim that you wish to open Aru. Know you then that the golden...
We do.
In all likelihood, the mortal world will never again be able to replicate King Deshret's work.
We are sure. Before people can dream.
If your minds are made up, very well. Saint Shezepank, Saint Bennu, once...
Saint Bennu. Responding to your call.
Saint Shezbank, responding to your call.
Ah, Lord Herreshoff.
Then your trust in my well-being has long outlived your physical body. You have all...
Al-Akmar is long gone. What is the
You're awake? Good. We are voting on whether to give the people of present-day Sumeru access to Aru and...
Aru is the pride of Al-Akmar. Opening Aru...
Sumeru is currently in the midst of a major calamity. Let us not forget, a god without his people shall cease to exist, and King Deshret's greatest wish was to provide protection for his people.
I do not mean to mock these proceedings, but what is the point of a unanimous vote when we know that the last of the...
This will no doubt surprise your mechanical mind, and I have no intention of trying to persuade you it is true. But Apep is, in fact, healing the Dendro Archon as we speak.
Huh? Can someone attest to this?
I ask the three kings.
Naturally, the Ibis King, Thoth.
What?
It was Thoth's disciples who revealed the truth to us. We need not debate its veracity. Simply let Thoth bear accountability. That way the rest of us may have a clear conscience.
Hereshef, you diabolical fiend!
I awakened our former colleagues for you, supported your opinion, and backed your decision. What sort of fiend would do that?
I miss the days when Hermanubis was still around.
What are you trying to say? Is my word worth less to you than Hermanubis's?
Hypocrite though you are, Lord Thoth, you are humorous in equal measure. How could we bear not to associate with a character such as you? I, Saint Shezbank, approve the Goat King's proposal.
Since King Deshret is no more, we shall receive no reprimand for acting beyond our remit. Nevertheless, remember, the moment that Aru is liberated, the myriad souls reside to take this step is to bring the perfect afterlife.
We understand that well. Furthermore, the contemporary human perspective would contend that confining souls in this way...
King Deshret's creation is clearly a place of rest and peace.
Hermanubis' representative and the Dendro Dragon Apep made their choice ahead of time, while the Goat King, Ibis King, and Crocodile King have also granted permission by the grace of His Majesty, guided by his wisdom and...
What's this? Are we under attack? No. Wait, it's...
Here you are.
Father. Father, is it really you?
It's Jet's father, Jibriel! That's right!
I smell blood and sand on you. You've grown. Strong as a wild beast, and without shedding a tear.
You have to leave, don't you? Please, just answer me this. What should I do for you?
This meeting is a blessing from the gods. My soul, once imprisoned, that the dead should meet the living is itself a miracle. Do not weep for me, Jet. I know you will accomplish many great things in your life. You will go further and climb higher than I ever did. All I ask is that you take good...
Father! Father!
Hey, Jet.
I'm fine. Thanks, Paimon. It was just a little sudden. The chance to see my father again meant the world to me. He was trapped in the golden slumber for our sake. And now, after all this time, he can finally rest in peace. I'm glad. It's a huge relief.
You've grown strong, Jet. More than enough to fend for yourself.
Yeah. I'll leave the past in my memory where it belongs. My family, the good times and the bad. Goodbye, Father.
Ah, me, what a touching reunion that was. It seems we did a good deed today.
We three retainers, once imprisoned for our iniquity, are surely the least qualified to judge whether this deed is good or bad. Either way, Aru is open. Now you have your opportunity, and with it, whatever trouble may ensue. Although Aru was created by a god, human craftsmanship was nevertheless required to build the gate that connects it to this world. Perhaps the relationship between gods and humanity follows a similar principle.
As for your proposed renovations, we cannot determine which functions to keep or discard. Proceed as you see fit, but please entrust the task to your most accomplished scholars, or Bennu will be most displeased.
It matters not. The Ibis King shall be accountable if any problems arise. Ibis, you chose to take on disciples, and so it follows that you must accept the risks of associating with humans.
If I'd known you'd be like this, I would have locked all of you away in Aru, never to leave again for all eternity.
All of us? What does this have to do with me?
Vilify me no further. Scholars, since you have liberated Aru, allow me to present you with a gift. Using Aru's power, we shall install a defense mechanism at our king's mausoleum. You must be guarded even against Irminsul itself, unseen and unheard. From this moment forth, none may by sight or hearing perceive anything said or done within the mausoleum.
Amazing.
With technology from the heavens, the possibilities are endless. Just because King Deshret did not use it for this purpose does not mean that it cannot be done. So, marvel away. This is the reward you have earned.
All right. Well, that resolves the issue of confidentiality. What about the technical side? Do we have the manpower?
Why, yes.
You must be the ones tasked by the Academia with renovating Aru?
That's right. Good afternoon. I'm Kaveh.
We've met before. This is Thoth, the...
I've only ever seen these two in murals! Ah, the paintings in the temple. They show us chatting, playing cards, playing chess. Precisely the activities we most enjoy, funnily enough.
No, only you enjoy playing chess. We were just humoring you.
I wouldn't go that far.
Back to the matter at hand. A preliminary assessment by the Academia indicates that this project requires expertise in various The most capable minds in their respective fields are here before you.
The artisans who built Aru for Al-Ahmar gave their very...
I didn't know that. We'll do our best, of course.
Such brazen words.
No, that's not what he meant. Please, don't mind him. He shares your sentiments, just not your, penchant.
I just think it's important to manage
Forgive my lack of courtesy, but we simply can't sacrifice our lives to the gods on completion of the Here's a first draft of the project proposal for your... Normally, I'd have made it look a...
Naturally.
Why are you so preoccupied with the ostentatious displays of respect to Al-Ahmar? We should be trying to make things easy for them. You never know. We might have to rely on these young people to look after us in our old age.
Exactly.
This is Aru's mainframe. Be reminded to use it with great caution.
We certainly will.
You may attempt to lay out punishment should you so desire, though I'm afraid it would be futile.
King Deshret always believed in humanity. Still, the reason that Aru's modules are designed...
Is that true? No wonder human artisans helped to build Aru, then.
Naturally.
Have you noticed that the Goat King keeps giving superficial responses? It's like he's just going through them.
He understands the art of perfunctory speech. That's what earned him his position as the Minister of Ministers. It seems the rumors about King Deshret being a poor judge of character are baseless after all.
Excuse me for being blunt, but it sounds suspiciously like...
You're mistaken. And while there's nothing strictly wrong with making every conversation about
you... whatever. I knew it'd be like this working with you. All right, let me past. I need to look at this console.
It's your job to activate it after all. Everyone, please proceed with the external checks and preparations as...
Hello there, youngsters.
Whoa, the Ibis King came to life.
What do you mean, came to life? I've been alive the whole time.
You did say we could start our research, right?
I've reviewed the proposal. The work you're planning to carry out on this grand device is ambitious in its scope. You have ample confidence in your abilities, I take it?
I wouldn't say I'm feeling hugely confident, but...
You are the top scholars of your day. I trust you are aware that there are countless links between Aru and the Akasha?
Aru and the Akasha? I thought the Akasha was the Academia's greatest tech...
And you too? Do you not know either?
You've read the
an instruction manual? The Akasha has an instruction manual? The Dendro Archon is a kind and thoughtful god indeed.
It used to sit on a shelf in the corner at the house of... If the manual is to be believed, Aru was...
What? But there are so few records about Aru anywhere. And practically none of these scientific expeditions into the desert...
But this is something you could not possibly have known. You may have heard many stories about the desert, but what is the most important aspect of history? Consider this a quiz. Anyone from Vahumana present?
I'm from Vahumana.
Precisely. And a large part of veracity is the chronological order in which events occur. I may as well tell you. In the beginning, Nabu Malikata, the goddess of flowers, descended upon Sumeru. The glory of the heaven was within her. She brought life, oases, and knowledge to this land. Then she created the Jinn, enlightened them, and ordered them to serve her. 2 other gods also walked upon this land where wisdom flowed in abundance, and the 3 met beneath the great green trees. It was the first and greatest alliance. We should speak with reverence of this covenant between the 3, which transcended both time and life. For they promised that in Sumeru, wisdom would be shared with all. All the great changes in Sumeru's history began with the goddess of flowers. For King Deshret's sake, she pried into the secrets of Celestia, and for this was burned to ashes by the flames of wrath. So grieved was King Deshret by her passing that he lost all interest in state affairs and devoted himself instead to the knowledge that she had brought back. It was after learning of the technology from that floating island in the sky that he first conceived of Aru. And so, the Akasha was inspired by Aru, while the basis for Aru itself came from Celestia's technology.
Well, if the 2 share a common technological origin...
Unbelievable. Have you no reverence at all for celestial technology?
No, I do, but there's no time for that. The schedule is too tight. Blame it on the deadline.
Perhaps you could try coming up with our cutoff dates.
You know what it's like having to turn around 5 different drafts in one day?
Yeah, also, Sir Ibis, King, you don't plan on getting directly involved?
Yes, well, you strike us more as having come to give a popular science lecture. Or, wait, does this...
Neither. Anyway, this sounds like far too much work for me.
Still, if Aru is so powerful, why...
Because it was never fully completed. King Deshret had grand plans, but he perished before they could come to fruition. In the beginning, his wish was to create something that could rival the very world itself. The Lord of Flowers sacrificed everything for that ambition. What he desired, she bestowed. And thus was knowledge brought into the world. Her courage and sacrifice had to be honored with the most splendid of monuments, or King Deshret would surely have deemed it a grave injustice. And that monument, built from knowledge and technology, etched with a sacrificial and courageous love, even in its unfinished form, it deserves to be treasured. At that time, King Deshret said the following to the Lord of Dendro. Since we share an eternal covenant, I shall never be your enemy. Hence, the fruit of wisdom from the heavens is not to be devoured. Remember, it is not that I lack the power to become the enemy of wisdom. Yet you and she have taught me much and shown me kindness. For this, I cherish you both. In the end, Aru was only used to store a portion of the souls. It was but a primitive form of the masterwork the king had envisaged. His final hope for Aru was to return to the past, when she yet lived.
So the point you're making is, King Deshret was both powerful and ambitious, and he only ceased his imperious ways out of affection for the goddess of flowers and the Dendro Archon. You could see this as an act of mercy, but you could also see it as the sentiments that lay between these 3 gods placing constraints on him.
This explains why Aru was both a prison and a monument.
You have to be careful who you get involved with, or you invite all manner of misfortune. This is as true for gods as it is for humans. Love is the same. It is both a prison and a monument. All right, let us pause the story here for now. Seeing as you've been so diligent, I'll offer a little help. Who's in charge again? is it you two?
Ah, yes.
Now then, close your eyes. Wisdom hides in the space between the tangible and the intangible. It is to convey the incommunicable through the simplest of mediums. By the power of King Deshret, I shall grant you a glimpse into the unseen secrets that lie at the threshold of existence.
Where did this come from? Is it a new mechanism?
It looks more like some form of externalized...
Just as the Akasha allows you to access a greater range of knowledge, the power of our king permits one to perceive ingenuities that do not belong to this world. This is no ordinary mechanism. It reflects the internal structure of Aru. Whether you choose to increase or decrease, keep or discard. Come, use these to achieve the outcome you desire.
Looks mechanical to me. Better
turn around.
So that's where the elevator is. Obelisks were used to record important information in the ancient desert civilization. I've sent it to your screen.
Got it. It's...
Take a look and tell me what it says. Oh, and...
Let's start with this one. Looks like cultural information.
If words thrown together merely for fun. I had no idea Aru kept a record of this.
If so, I suggest you delete it.
Well, as long as you're certain...
It is unimportant.
Well, as long...
It is
Looks like cult...
Word.
All right, well, I guess I'll... Found some more.
These are all reports about the...
Can we delete?
I'd say so. Most...
What if there are details in there that Vahuman...
They'll just have to live with it. If we don't resolve these issues now, there won't...
Yeah, There's some other similar monuments nearby. I'll check them out. Another monument.
Hold on.
You're still reading?
It records the development and governance of the Oasis civilization. Most of it concerns the Jinn, but it also contains records left by the artisans who built Aru.
Is it important?
Some of it. There was no way for me to read the whole thing in its entirety.
What about the artisans' records? What do they mean?
They're speculations, mostly. For instance, they were wondering how to protect themselves if King Deshret decided to silence—
Sounds like pure mythology to me.
The records do emphasize that this was merely their conjecture based on various myths.
Even that got recorded? Okay, well...
Is that truly necessary? You won't be needing those.
No, the blueprints are important. I think that
It meets the requirements of the contingency plans, so we should—
I gotta say, it's the strangest. It's like drifting between life and death. Or in and out of a dream.
Chasing dreams in the most literal sense.
What happens if my...
That won't happen. Anyway,
All right.
Traveler from afar, do you worry for the fate of Sumeru as well?
Woo! It's so... Greetings, Crocodile King.
Please be at ease.
Sounds like you really care.
Yes, although to be exact...
Speaking of Nihida...
Wait a moment.
What is...
I tried calling out to Apep, but there was no response. This can only mean that she is focusing all her energy on taking care of Lesser Lord Kusanali.
All the gods who served King Deshret seemed super surprised to hear that Apep agreed to help Nihida.
Are you aware of the history between her and our king? The story begins a long time ago. Al-Ahmar was always a wishful thinker where the Dendro dragon was concerned. Without consulting her, he decided to list her among the 7 pillars and declared his own power to be far superior to hers. That was when our king was at the height of his power. Ibis Goti and I were no match for him, and so we chose to submit and serve as his ministers. But not Apep. No, she never thought much of him. To Apep, Al-Ahmar's pride and sense of superiority were nothing but ignorance and hubris. In fact, they fought numerous times, but usually the battle ended in a draw. In the end, King Deshret coveted his final act was to trick the dragon into swallowing him whole, leaving her to bear the torment of his sins. The Dendro dragon stands for the glory of a bygone era. She hated Al-Ahmar and what he represented. All the gods, all the power they wielded. And so, her willingness to help the Dendro Archon through this crisis comes as a great surprise indeed. It makes one wonder whether, perhaps, the Dendro Archon assisted her in the past.
Yep, Nihida did her a huge favor.
So Lesser Lord Kusanali put an end to the Dendro. As much as she loathes the 7, Apep knows kindness when she sees it. No wonder she was willing to make an exception.
Yeah, that's the sense we got from dealing with her, too.
She is not incapable of coexisting with other living things. Rather, she actively chooses to avoid coexistence. And this despite the fact that she symbolizes life itself. How ironic. All of this being said, I wouldn't expect too much from her if I were...
We'll keep that in mind. Anyway, how much longer do you think Nahida needs to stay with the Pep? For all we know, the Fatui might still be in the desert. Just to be... I'm alright, Paimon. Huh? Was that Nahida's voice?
It seems the treatment was effective.
Since when do my deeds require your evaluation?
Ah! Here will do just fine. I'm alright, Paimon.
I had no intention of taking you any further. One ought not expect greater generosity than they have earned.
You always hide your kindness away like an oasis within a sandstorm. Only those who make it through the swirling winds can know just how beautiful that oasis is, and how much hope it brings.
You dare appraise my being?
No, I'm expressing my gratitude. I want to thank you for sharing your precious life force with me.
Awake already? You are more resilient than I thought.
Pep. I feel much better. Thank you.
Gods and their gratitude mean little to me. I would rather you give me your assurance that the situation with Irminsul and Sumeru's ley lines will be competently managed. If I suffer any ill effects from the ley lines, you, as the god of this land, will be held responsible. And you would not enjoy being held. Since when do my deeds require your evaluation?
I'm alright, Paimon. I understand what you require, but I would assume this task even if you did not demand it. Sumeru is my responsibility. I must resume my duties as soon as possible.
A farcical notion. God of Sumeru, I hope you realize how unextraordinary your strength is.
And yet, maybe it is precisely what defines me. A god of wisdom is not meant to rule by force.
Then hold steady. We go forth.
Well, I'll be. Is that a pep? Do my eyes deceive me? Of all places, the Dendro Dragon has decided to visit the mausoleum of King Deshret?
I see that after all this time, El Ahmar's menagerie of ministers remain as vile as ever.
It's a pleasure, Dendro Dragon. Had you arrived but a little sooner, you might have attended a meeting of the Seven Pillars.
What a nauseating thought. You are not the first insects I have had the displeasure of dealing with today. A swarm of them tugged on my tail on my way over. Goodness knows what hovels they crawled from. Why do all the creatures of this world remain so lowly after all this time?
What did you do with them?
I cast them away. What would you have me do? Keep them as trinkets? Boer, this is where we shall part ways. To be clear, I do not wish to see you or anyone else here ever again, unless absolutely necessary.
Then I wish you peace as you return to your dwelling place.
It matters not to me. Simply refrain from bothering me again.
A force to be reckoned with. At times like this, I feel glad that she has no interest in any of this.
Hold on, just hold on, okay? We're almost there. We made it. Wait, that voice. Hold on, just hold on, okay? We're almost there. Uh-oh, I'm gonna fall. Well, that's a relief. A pair of safe hands indeed.
The Dendro Archon's familiars. They are the last thing I expected to see here.
Huh? Wait, what are the Aranara doing here? Don't you... Obviously, I was worried about the Dendro Archon. I've been supporting them with my Pari powers the whole way here. Oh, you seem pretty nervous. Is it not just people? It's all these non-human beings, too. It's hard on them. I can't believe you made such a long and dangerous journey just for my sake. I appreciate your support so much. Thank you all. Hold on, just hold...
You are not the first insects I have had the displeasure.
I'll have to ask everyone to wait while I help our new arrival settle in. Once I'm done, I'll gather everyone to discuss our next steps. Traveler, Paimon, shall we find a place for our friends to stay? Awesome! Well, first I have some questions.
Okay, I think that covers everything. Thank you. We can get going now. Hello, everyone. It's only us. It must be very tough for you coming all the way out here, especially since you don't like the Voluka. Is everyone back in Vanarana doing well? Ah, everyone's here. Good. Are you okay? Then you're forgetting who I am. Don't underestimate me. Oh, excuse me! Are you comparing me to Paimon? I suppose everyone is gathered here because of me. As we can see, the situation is critical, and everyone is very busy with their various tasks, so... I can't thank you enough. Right now, we're focused on restructuring Aru, processing excess information, and helping restore everyone's confidence. I'm sure you'll find it all very straightforward. I can help too! Just let me know where I'm needed. Up to no good! That definitely sounds suspicious. Traveler, Paimon, I have other work to attend to here that needs to take priority. Could I trouble you to investigate the situation Arabalika spoke of? No problem. Thank you. I'm counting on you. There's one other thing. If you are to work alongside the people of Sumeru, you will need to make yourselves visible to them. Is that acceptable to everyone? There's nothing to fear. No one here will hurt you. But if you do feel afraid, don't worry. Just call my name and I'll be there. Very well. Now, I shall bestow a small blessing upon you all. Whenever people see you and interact with you, from the moment their gaze meets yours, they will experience the most beautiful of dreams. Do not fear. We will face it together. This too shall pass. Everyone's here. Wonderful.
Dendro Archon.
Are you recovering all right?
I'm doing very well. Thank you for your concern. I see. Using the power of Aru to reboot the Akasha and gain access to Irminsul. It's a sound plan, although I regret to be the bearer of bad news. But with the state that Irminsul is currently in, it's impossible to access via traditional means. Even the Akasha won't change that.
Alas,
What about non-traditional?
Are you saying...
Desperate times?
It's... The Aranara have good intuition when it comes to people.
Given everything that's going on, I'd be more surprised if there wasn't.
Miss Nefer, as a professional
Not one that I'm willing to volunteer. What's in it for me?
Let's say I'll treat this as a pilot project aimed at expanding your intelligence operations. Whatever business you're...
I like the sound of that. Glad we're on the same page.
Given that you rarely set foot in Sumeru...
I take it you've read the files on everyone in the area?
Yes. I also skimmed the list of evacuees, and am more or less up to date on where everyone stands.
Any initial suspects?
Limiting the scopes to males whose recent activity... The Aranara saw 2 people talking, but currently we only have 1 suspect.
Everyone is heading for the desert per the evacuation order. Anyone willing to turn back at this stage is almost certainly with the Fatui.
There's no way it was a spur-of-the-moment decision to act at a time like this. We need to smoke him out.
Sounds like you have the beginnings of a plan. I see. Your suspicions are well-founded. I'd be watching him too if I were you.
So far, we still lack solid evidence that he's been bribed. He hasn't made any...
Then let's get closer to him to confirm before we make our move. I can handle it. I'm not based in Sumeru, so barely anyone at Caravan Rebot knows who I am.
And you're certain you've never...
I'm certain. Besides, it's extremely rare for me to have had any direct contact with Sumeru mercenaries besides Jet. There's no way he could have seen my face before. Sino, stay out of sight and wait for my signal. If he raises any red flags, I'll bring him toward the main road.
Understood.
Excellent. Well, it's a pleasure working with you. Darker skin, scars, frequents the desert and has ample combat experience. Nothing unusual about how he dresses or acts. What's that he's looking at? A coin. Interesting. Could that be how his contact paid him? Conveniently discreet for someone trying to hide any unexplained income. And yet it could be highly valuable. Sorry to bother you. Has everyone here already left? I don't suppose you happen to see a lady wearing a hat?
Ma'am? What are you doing in Caravan Rebot all by yourself?
My friend and I lost some of our cargo along the way. I didn't want to miss out on potential business, so I told her to go on ahead and meet the client while I retraced our steps. I didn't think it would be so late by the time I found it. And then there was a terrible sandstorm. I guess I must have taken a wrong turn, because I didn't see any large groups on my way here.
Forgive me for asking, but just to be on the safe side.
Sure. She has blonde hair, and she was wearing a hat and a white dress. You'd definitely know if you'd seen her.
Yes, I think that does ring a bell. Ah, my apologies.
I understand. Well, sir, is there anything else you need to know? If not, I'd better try and catch up with them.
Hey, wait! They left a good while ago now. You'll never catch up with them on your own. Why don't I give you a ride?
That would be amazing. Traveling with a group will be much safer. I'll have to pay you for your trouble.
Hey, let's not worry about the money for now. Wait.
All right, thanks. Let me know if you need a hand carrying anything.
No need for that.
Okay. Well, I wish there was some way I could repay you. Guess it's my lucky day, running into someone who knows what they're doing here. You might have just saved my life, you know?
You're not wrong there. I mean...
Actually... I suppose I can tell you, since you've been such a big help. But be sure to keep it to yourself, or we could both be in big trouble.
Oh, really?
We're in the antiques business. You understand? Some of our goods aren't acquired through the most legitimate means. We have to be very discreet when we're selling them. That's why I had to go looking for the missing cargo alone.
Ah, no wonder. Well, ma'am, in that case...
I'm all ears. But to be clear, our commission isn't cheap. Think carefully before you ask. We don't want to ruin our relationship before we even hit the road.
I'm sure that won't be a problem. My issue is...
Pure gold. That's quite something. How'd you come across it? Dig it out of some ancient tomb?
If you look hard...
It has no distinct Snezhnayan markings. That'll be why he's going with that story. And he clearly doesn't want to arouse suspicion, so he's on the lookout for an opportunity to make a quiet trade. Surely you have an existing business partner. Won't they take it off your hands? I hope I won't be attracting the wrath of my competitors by helping you sell this.
The shop I used to work with is having cash flow issues at the moment after losing some money. I'm under enough pressure as it is without having to deal with them. On the off chance anything went wrong, I'd never...
I understand. Gold is the last thing that traders with cash flow problems want to see. Well, in that case, I think we can work something out.
As it happens, I'm just...
Sure.
This evacuation was a huge operation. They needed a few people to stay behind and tie up loose ends. And I ended up being one of them. You're lucky you ran into us in time.
I certainly am. I don't know how this happened. One thing led to another, and look how it ended up. I just hope our client doesn't get spooked and cancel their order.
Fingers crossed. But either way, life goes on, and we all have to make a living somehow.